And knowledgeable staff will make sure you are taken care of. I should know because I've seen it firsthand. Every vehicle I've purchased has been from Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, and I love the entire process. Now, I don't want you to forget about their award-winning parts and service department. It has everything you need to get you back on the road. Go visit them on the web at nissanofrivergate.com. They're open there 24/7, 365 days a year. Or give them a call at 615-865-7220. Again, that number is 615-865-7220. That's Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, where your dollar always goes farther.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Everybody stay calm. Stay calm.
Let's take some calls from the public, shall we?
Join the afternoon stretch now on the Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. Now here's Bruno and Zach.
4 o'clock here in the Music City, so you know what time it is. Time for the afternoon stretch here on Nashville Sports Radio. Bruno Reagan, Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studios. Hope everybody is having a terrific Thursday here in the Music City. The weather just simply can't be better outside. It's 72 degrees, sunny. It's amazing outside. It doesn't feel like November 3rd, but it is. And we got a lot of fun stuff happening today. Going to talk some Eagles football up in the Philadelphia area coming up at 4:25. And then also we're going to get into our NFL week picks in the second hour. Tons of stuff happening. If you want to get involved, the Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. Jump on in. Bruno Reagan, how are you doing today?
Yeah, everyone stay tuned. 420, it's going to be awesome. We love 420 on this radio show, and that's where we got the thing. So we're big 420 people.
I don't get it.
Yeah, of course you don't. It's more of a me and my crowd thing.
Yeah. You're the Bruno. What if you had a fan group? What would be your fan group name?
Scum, bottom of the barrel, degenerates of the earth.
So I'm not mad that I don't understand what they would be excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we don't get excited. That's the thing. We're all very stoic, too.
Yeah, just a bunch of Clark Lees running around, right? That's what it is. Yeah. Man, what an interview that was yesterday. I'm still, if you didn't hear our interview with Clark Lee yesterday, it's up on WNSR.com. You can click the afternoon stretch and go back in, and you'll be able to hear that right there, SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. I went back and listened to it last night. I don't do that at times.
I never do it too, but I did too.
Something about hearing him talk, you're just like, I love this.
Mainly because also, guys, if you DM me, I want you to tell Clark this, I'm not going to do that. So
that's my favorite part. We have Clark Lee on, and then people hit Bruno up and are like, ask this question. No.
Go through the bottom of the barrel, ringer of this industry, get your own show, get enough credibility to get Clark on your show, and then ask him that question. Because I am going to ask whatever I want.
Get your own radio show is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Yeah, no, that's always my favorite. Somebody's like, oh, you're having this person on? Ask him about this. And I'm like, no. Now I'll definitely, even if I was going to, I'm not going to now.
I'm someone, if it's a good question, I'll re-ask it. But most of the time, people that DM you, they don't have good questions.
Well, it's always like somebody with no avatar photo, and they're wanting to
6 tweets.
Ask why he hates me, or something like that. Like, why won't he follow me back on Twitter? That's always my favorite.
Can you tell Clark about my son?
Yeah,
that's the best one.
Can you get him to Vanderbilt? That would be terrific.
Yeah, that would be terrific, wouldn't it? Why don't I just get? Everyone should just whoever I say I should be head of admissions at Vanderbilt University.
You know what I'm over? World Series.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done. The over is not something that is
boring.
It is not escapable. It's been in the hands and ready for both of these teams. And if one team is up, the other one is just having the worst night ever. I mean, 2 World Series ever, no hit, and that happened last night.
Well, the under is for moneymakers, but at the same time, we're all bored by the NFL this season, and what's happening in the NFL this season? The under is dominating primetime slots, so it's boring football games. We get to the World Series, I think all but game one has been totally under, totally boring. One team dominates. The World Series has been boring. Game one I was so pumped after game one when the Phillies came back after being down 5-0 to win 6-5 and extra innings in the 10th. I was like, this is going to be an awesome series. This has been nothing but a snooze fest. So as someone who if you're a Houston fan or a Philly fan, obviously you're going to be very involved. But for the neutral parties watching it,
The Ohtani fans.
yes, I'm just trying to get into the sport. It's been watching a team not be able to hit the ball a single time is abysmally boring.
In
Am I
the
wrong?
World Series. No, it is. It is. There's nothing worse than a pitcher's duel, and that's not even really. Last night wasn't a pitcher's duel. It was just a beatdown. Is what it was.
Didn't want to watch Philly fans. They were like,
That's my favorite part about all this is the blowback from just within 24 hours of each other, where the Phillies go and shut out the Astros a night before. Philadelphia is red hot. Everybody is on fire. They're like, Phillies all the way. This is it. We're going. And then they have that ball game, and Philly fans are like, I'm done with this team. Sell the organization. I saw so many videos last night of Philly fans that were like, it's over. I can't believe they would do this. How could you be that bad? I mean, within 24 hours to be so done with a team that you were as high as possible on.
Now,
Philly fans are the worst people in the world.
That's a culture we just don't understand because that's how they are with everything, right? That's just their sports culture.
What a dumb city.
Yeah.
What a dumb city. I mean, if the Eagles, who have not lost yet, if they lose one game, I can imagine their fans are like, Jalen Hurts is the worst quarterback ever.
Why isn't Gardner Minshew playing?
Yes.
Is he still there?
We should give Gardner Minshew a shot.
Yeah.
I saw it too. I mean, we're going to be talking Philly Eagles later on in the show, but I was looking at a reply of some different tweets and things like that, and one of them was like, oh, no, our special teams has been abysmal. I can't believe we haven't lost games yet. And it's like, what are you doing, Philly fans? You're just looking at every – I think Titans fans are really dumb. I do. I think there's a large portion of it. If you follow Titans Twitter or God forbid Titans Facebook groups, those are that's a wasteland. But if you follow any of these and see what they post, you're like, oh, okay, these people are moronic. But I think Philly fans just take that to a whole other level now. Remember when A.J. Brown, he had a whole football camp thing he was supposed to do here, and it was right after he got traded. And he didn't end up doing it here in Nashville.
Yeah,
he
moved to Philadelphia.
I thought he was like, I'm like worried someone's going to try something on me, is what he said. At Philly, it'll actually happen. Like, people in Nashville may talk about it, but they're not going to do it. Philly, they're going to be like, how dare you get traded with no control over yourself, and here you go. I'm going to stab you now.
Yeah, well, the way you feel about Titans
city.
Sports fans, I feel about really every sports fan. It's not even to the – I feel like a lot of sports fans want to know, but with any topic, anybody can go to a four-year university, get it. Like, it's just – for most topics, there's topics on YouTube about it, but for football, to know football, you have to, like, live it. It's such a complex game. It's like an 11-man chess that happens at the same time, right? And there's so much to the personnel side of it, so much to the scheme side of it. So when you have Joe Schmo, who played in high school, and they ran the wing T, and they had 4 plays in their playbook, to them, it like I
making fun of Hendersonville right now.
Yes, it's the first thing that popped up in my
making
head.
fun of Joe T. That's what you're doing.
If I was a high school football coach, the first thing I would do is run 6 to 8 plays because it's all high school kids can really handle.
Yeah.
But when you get to the professional level, you get. It's learn this new world or die, and a lot of people me and my old man were talking about how abysmally bad offensive line play has become. It's because they have these star athletes at tackle. Like, there's guys that can move like Trent Williams out there, Titans left tackle, but they have no technique. They don't have the natural sense of the game like Trent Williams has.
Yeah.
Trent Williams has near perfection technique.
Fundamentals, I think that's the word. It feels like there's just no fundamentals anymore.
So not only is it whereas most people in the NFL could look at other people and be like, you just don't understand the game. There's a lot of people in the NFL now that simply don't understand the game.
I mean, I think I see it in baseball too, where you're just seeing routine pop-ups that are nobody's calling for it. Nobody, and then it drops or people run into each other.
Is it our culture? Is the me culture a real thing?
I don't know.
I feel like there's a little bit of validity in the argument. I think
there's some hefty blame, not on the person, but the era he created, which is Stephen Curry, where people want to be the star and they want to do the highlights and just shoot threes from half court.
Stephen Curry puts in an incredible amount of work, along with being a generational talent.
Right, but you see the highlights.
I know some of the NFL's top stars aren't watching film. I know they're not.
Yeah, well, I mean, just look at Kyler Murray over this offseason. They put it into his contract, and it got leaked by 100,000 people, and everybody was like, "What?" And then they got their hand forced to take it out. That wasn't like an accident thing.
No, you don't put things in.
They do that on purpose. But I don't know.
Because they can track how much you watch us, too.
All back to it, though, for the Phillies. I don't know where I am in the World Series right now. I don't know where I mean, they're 2-2. It's evened up. We've seen the best and the worst out of each team right now. You know who is sweating this the most is Mattress Matt, because he has $75 million riding on this game, or a series.
Yeah. I hope he wins his bet.
It's probably going to be Astros. I think it will be.
As a man who can support another gambling man with a clear addiction, I'm down. But he's also, he's super old, so he's like, I'm just enjoying life as we go. And for Mattress Matt, get one more, I guess. Win a real ring. That's what the Astros are about to do.
Devlin McKenzie, how are you doing behind the boards today?
Pretty good.
Final day of the week for you?
Yep.
Not here tomorrow?
Yeah, looking forward to getting down to a pretty good game on Saturday.
Yeah, you're going to that game that's happening down in Athens, right?
Uh-huh.
What game is that again? I can't remember. It's not that important, right?
Georgia, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some real numbers going on in that game right now.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have looked at the ticket prices.
Let me guess, 500, 600?
Yeah, there's nothing less than like $600 right now for a nosebleed. I
And
think the
Devlin
highest,
has
like,
tickets right now.
Yeah.
Why am I so good?
And he's
First of
thinking
all,
about selling them.
No, I would, personally. That's just me, though.
They're not my tickets. It's not up to me.
Oh, that's
If the discussion is brought up to me and they're like, hey, you thinking about it? I'd be like, yeah, I do it right now. Because, I mean, this game doesn't mean as much to me as like an Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah, because you're an Ohio State fan.
Right. Yeah, I got invited out to this game by a person who has tickets. If they're wanting to sell them and grab some quick cash, sure.
Because you're not a native Nashvilleian either. So you're not a native Tennessean. You're not an SEC guy. Like, this doesn't really mean much to you outside of maybe your only chance you'll ever see another 1 versus 2.
Right. I mean, this game, I don't have any like personal attachment to it, but I mean, I love college football more than anything. So I mean, just going to the environment and getting to experience a game like this that'll probably be historic.
And you're also very easily buyable.
Yeah.
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 So what would be your dollar amount that you're like, yes, immediately? Like, you would tell your partner who's got the tickets, be like, hey, sell.
$350.
Sell. $350?
Yeah.
That's it?
Uh-huh. Because I can use that and buy a Buckeye ticket.
I mean, that you just said there's like none going cheaper than $500. I feel like you're cutting yourself off.
I am. But quick, like at the gate, $500, I mean, I could probably pull it off. But if I want quick cash right now, $350 is a pretty good number.
That's the going rate for Devlin's ticket. If anybody's trying to find a ticket right now to Georgia and Tennessee, one of the hottest commodities coming up this Saturday, there you go. Find Devlin McKenzie.
This is probably the biggest event, one of the biggest events in sports this weekend. It'll probably be the most watched, I would imagine, even over the World Series.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
College football, I mean, it's second to the NFL.
It's going to have a crazy – I mean, we're probably going to see, like, almost Super Bowl kind of numbers, especially out of the South.
It'll break records.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of people watching that game. I mean, what, you're going to have just 180,000 alone just from Knox County. It's going to be watching it. So, yeah, no, it's going to be the most watched game probably all season in the regular season.
Yeah,
I would say. Even more so than Michigan and I don't know, maybe not just because it's the whole Thanksgiving aspect, the weekend and stuff like that. So
if any game's going to come in second place or beat it, it's Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah, that'll probably be it.
But this is the game this year.
Are you excited to watch that game?
Not really.
Not really?
No. The game I'm excited
You beat both teams, so it's like.
Absolutely. I beat both of them at their house, too. I mean, I mean, that's why I tell people, I don't have the hate in my heart. I've won my war, and I'm a retired man.
If you had lost,
Vandy choppers come in. They're like, Reagan, we need you for one last job.
One last ride.
All right, one last job.
I told you I was retired. Damn it, you got a deal. No, I would do anything to have you suit up one more time for Vanderbilt.
God.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd be huge for the show.
That'd be awful.
Do you have any eligibility left?
No.
Oh.
No, I used every little bit of it.
You didn't get the extra COVID year, even though that already happened?
No.
You missed out on that one?
I would, dude, don't even ask me. I don't know what I would probably just forego a COVID year. Because I couldn't imagine doing a Masters at the same time as playing. Couldn't do it.
No.
I can't do it.
No. Yeah, I'm excited for it, though. I'm excited for it. And I'm not a Tennessee fan. I think if you're just a sports fan, Saturday is just it almost kind of feels like a national holiday kind of thing. If you're a sports fan, how do you miss out on that day of watching sports?
Yeah.
And then having that happen, having Georgia, Tennessee, because we haven't expressly broke down that game yet. We haven't got into it ourselves yet. But it's a game where, and we don't even have time to do it right now because there's so much involved. Because you take everything we say about Tennessee. I tweeted something last night at Zachariah W on Twitter, free plug. Bruno Reagan. What's yours again?
Devlin 1416.
Yeah, got to get that changed.
I know. It's hard.
Just immediately got to get that changed.
Elon.
Yeah. But I saw something last night that was talking about Josh Heupel, and it was a fair point. The tweet that came out, it said, just a reminder that Josh Heupel was a year and a half into the job. When he got to UT, 35 players had bolted to the transfer portal, and countless recruits had decommitted to the Vols. We're coming off a 3-7 season. The Vols are now number one in the country, depending on who you ask. AP poll, they're not number one, they're number two, but college football playoffs poll has now made them number one. And I tweeted, I said, this is a fair point, but I think another fair point is he has possibly the most mature quarterback in the nation that has helped more than people give credit. And next season will be much more trying without Hooker.
The Tennessee fan base, for all the issues a fan base can have, they have my biggest pet peeve of an issue. The Tennessee fan base has an issue with coach. They like want their own Saban.
Yeah.
They played against and watched Saban so much, they have a coach praise issue. So Butch Jones was the guy at one point. Jeremy Pruitt's going to be they want someone to be like the immaculate saver. A coach is an old man who they all do the same thing. They all watch film a lot, and then they give out a game plan, typically very consistent throughout a season. The players make the plays. So when I came out on some Barstool things, and I was like when they were tweeting all this, because they're writing the Vol hype so much, Vol's number one, everyone's coming out of the woodwork, might as well profit on that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, they have the Heisman is on their team, and he gets a lot of credit, but not nearly enough. People are like, Josh Heupel. The Heisman is on your team. Ask Kevin Sublin what happened after Johnny Manziel left. Ask Gene Chizik what happened after Cam Newton left.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only one staying calm here? And I guess so, because Vols fans just aren't used to being number one. Heupel has succeeded at every point in his career, and people pointed that out to me, which is great. But this league has 100% turnover. Yeah. So if you're calling Heupel the savior and Jesus Christ incarnate, and he's going to be here 30 years, and he's the next Johnny Major, he's done the impossible right now. And that's great, and we can celebrate that. But
and it's the time you can celebrate it. That's the thing. I think for Vols fans, it's been so long that you're allowed blind celebration. But I just think next year is going to be a real come-down-to-earth moment. I want to put a pin on this because we got to go to a break.
Okay.
Because it's a good conversation. We're going to talk about it later on. When we come back, we're going to have Chris Franklin of NJ.com. He covers the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, they are in Thursday Night Football tonight. We're going to go up there, talk to him about Philadelphia Eagles and some of what's going on with the Phillies as well on the other side on the Cure Hotline after this here on the Afternoon Stretch.
Good afternoon. It's busy what you would expect out here on 440 eastbound trying to get past Nolensville Pike. We did have a crash in that area not too long ago. Heavy on the south loop on 40 east here at DeMumbry and Broadway, bumper to bumper, 24 east at Shelby. I see a slowdown developing here out towards Robertson County on 24 westbound around the 19-mile marker. Give yourself a little bit of extra time out in that area if you're headed back towards the Clarksville area. Hey, Ripley's Gatlinburg is your one-stop destination for family fun. Log on to ripley's.com. I'm Commander Chuck, you're on-time traffic.
Now's the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Join today to get started with $150 free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's free bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Sign up with the promo code GregP. FanDuel has all your favorite bets, from the money line to point spreads to player props. You can combine all of those across a variety of platforms with same-game parlays for a bigger payout. Live betting, you see a trend, something that's going on in a game, you can get updated odds on games that have already started and get you paid your winnings fast. All that on the app that's safe by using the promo code GregP. All that on the app. Don't fumble your chance to get $150 in free bets, win or lose. Promo code GregP. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You got to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager. Only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued non-withdrawable. Free bets that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789.
Get a taste of the tropics without ever leaving Nashville at Hawaiian Izakaya. The Heart, voted to have the best creative cocktails in Music City. Located inside Bento Living Chestnut Hill, The Heart is open for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and drinks Tuesday through Sunday. Plus brunch on the weekends. Expect fresh, locally sourced shareable plates, poke, yakitori, handcrafted cocktails, and aloha vibe. Visit theheartnashville.com to view the menu and make a reservation today.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. Package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. It's starleasing.com to learn more.
Five-state forecast.
Your exclusive Nashville Sports Radio WNSR Skyscan forecast for this afternoon. Blue skies and green lights. A high of 76 today. Clear skies overnight, a low of 56. No rain in sight. Sunshine Friday, a high of 78. Utilizing the resource.
Call in now to the afternoon stretch, 615-844-5600, and be the most talented person on the show.
The afternoon stretch. Bruno Reagan, Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. We'll have Chris Franklin here in just a few moments as we're getting him on, talking Philadelphia Eagles, Houston Texans tonight, Thursday night football. 14-point spread on this. The biggest, I think, of the season. Houston has no Brandon Cooks. They have
Brandon Cooks is out on feelings.
Yes.
Feelings have been injured.
And they have no hope also.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about a game that there's just zero chance. And that is where whenever I start saying that in the NFL, I'm like, this is where legends are born.
Is there a chance that a college team could be the Houston Texans right now?
No.
No.
That's the answer to this. No shot there's a way that they have it, that they lose to a college team.
Maybe Joe Burrow's LSU team.
If you're picking teams out of the history,
Justin Jefferson,
maybe that team could.
Yeah, maybe.
Was that the best college football team ever?
A recency bias.
Yeah.
Because on the other side, you had all those Bama players too. So
yeah, Derrick Henry's Bama senior year, that team was just monsters. Yeah, no, they're just monsters. Period, all the way through the whole history of Bama. But yeah, 14-point spread for the Eagles and the Texans tonight. That is, I'm excited for this game. I really am. I'm excited for it for one of two reasons. The main one being A.J. Brown. You have that against the Steelers, but to see him, can he do that again? And A.J. Brown, obviously with Tennessee Titans, this is something we're going to talk about with Chris Franklin, is that he shows up in primetime games more than any. I remember when he was with the Titans, it was Buffalo Bills and 49ers and all these different teams that the Tennessee Titans played last season in primetime, and that's when you saw A.J. Brown just explode. Just adamantly explode. So I'm really excited to see A.J. Brown.
Yeah, I think he's become one of the best receivers in the league, which we knew, but now it's kind of like you always have this, can he do it in this? Can he do it in this setting? It just goes to show they have chemistry. One thing that does interest me is the whole Brandon Cooks story is I don't understand Cooks' motive right now. Because you know Brandon Cooks signed an extension in April, right?
Yeah.
You knew what you were signing up for was why even sign that extension? I'm so confused.
Yeah, I don't understand it because I understand. So Brandon Cooks got traded down from the Rams, and reports were that the Rams were trying to trade back for him. They wanted him back on the team.
Houston wanted a second and a fourth, but no one was willing to give that up, especially because in Brandon Cooks' extension, he has $18 million guaranteed in the next. So
it was that Rams contract. It was just so much money. I do think that he is worth it, but it is a situation. You're right. He put it into himself that he signed this gigantic extension,
guaranteed money,
And I guess maybe he had the hope that Deshaun Watson was going to stay. That's the only thing I could think, is that he thought Deshaun Watson was going to stay, and he didn't think it was going to be Davis Mills that was going to be throwing the ball for the rest of his time in Houston. Because last year this time, he did the exact same thing. Remember, he was wanting to get traded last year in the trade deadline, and he didn't get traded. And what did he do? He went to Twitter and he put some cryptic tweet out about how, like, loyalty's fake or something like that. And then they give him the extension, and he's like, well, all right, it's a lot of money. But then right here, we're back. I think it's just because he's a fierce competitor. And in season, he hates losing, hates being on a bad team. He knows that
it's depressing. It's super depressing. You just show up every week, and it's just like you already know your season's
14-dog spread right now. Again, on prime time. Yeah, Brandon Cooks doesn't want to show up.
Hey, but you know who else doesn't want to show up? Everybody on Houston's roster. But they're going to because it's expected of them.
So is he a bad teammate for that?
Personally, I think so. I think Brandon Cooks is totally deserving of criticism in this moment because he signed the extension. He knew what he was getting himself into. He's essentially hoping for goodwill out of the Texans to just get him out. And people didn't want to give up his value. They didn't want to give him up without, what his value is worth. So I think it's all on him. I think this whole thing is on him. I don't know what else to say. I hate going against players. You signed this extension.
Yeah.
And, I mean, sitting out, he's not going to get paid, so I guess that's great. Everybody wins or loses, whatever way you look at it. But
yeah, I mean, it's just a weird situation. I think there's more of this growing in the NFL. It seems to be a bigger problem of players just being like, well, I'm not going to play. I mean, I know holdouts have been a thing for a long time. And there's a lot of famous holdout stories out there, especially like Terrell Owens, doing workouts in his yard and camera crews showing up. I remember all those times. But it does feel like now is a bigger problem because of social media, that there's so much more connectivity to it that they're getting to voice what they're saying so much more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it seems like because they're doing that, it creates like a riptide effect of, well, I can say and do things now because Brandon Cooks is out here and just not playing. So who knows if it's going to be Claypool at some point, or I'm just picking random players now, that are going to be able. Well, Cam Akers is just now getting back to. They're trying to figure out how to get him on the field, even though he's not hurt. It's just it's a problem. It seems like they've had for a little bit. Devlin, are we good to go here? Oh, okay, good. I wanted to make sure before I said anything, but now we're going to kick it up to on our northeast side of the world. Going up to Pennsylvania, getting ready for tonight's Thursday night football contest. Chris Franklin of NewJersey.com, NJ.com. Check him out on Twitter at @CFranklinNews. Chris, thanks so much for jumping on with us.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Very good, very good. So Thursday night football, 14-dog spread on a 7-0 team against the Houston Texans. I mean, have you already wrote up your Eagles win article?
Well, I got the lead ready. I just need to find out one big play. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll go from there. But if I'm the Eagles, I'm looking like, guys, what are you guys giving me here this early year? Like, this matchup is just rough to look. But, hey, never know. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. So it could be crazy, but I doubt it at this point right now.
What is it about this Eagles squad that is just such a turnaround? I mean, there's a bit of a connection, obviously, from you to I, because covering A.J. Brown while he was here in Tennessee, now up to the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's doing exactly what A.J. Brown does, except he's staying more healthy. But you wouldn't think just one wide receiver piece has made a team turn around so much. What is it that's different from this Philadelphia team in just years past?
I think the biggest difference right now, you got to look at Jalen Hurts. I mean, when you look at the way he's throwing the ball right now, and it's night and day almost when you look at when he first came into the league. I think you saw a big example of that last week when he threw those 3 touchdown passes to A.J. Brown all on the fades or on the sideline. If you probably looked at the Jalen Hurts from probably even around the same time last year, you're probably like, okay, is he going to be short or is he going to be out of bounds? But that time he spent with Tom House out in Southern California has done a lot. You look at the way his footwork looks good, the way he's leading his receivers to make a play on that as well, too. Now, don't get me wrong, it helps to have A.J. Brown out there to grab those catches. But when you look at the way he's playing right now, it's been huge, and he's been what's making this whole entire team going right now.
Talking with Chris Franklin. You can follow him on Twitter at @CFranklinNews, Philadelphia Eagles beat writer for NJ.com. Bruno Reagan, say hello to Chris.
Chris, what's up? We're in the middle of the grind of the NFL season, and something that a lot of teams struggle with is injuries. But the Eagles, they have one person currently on the injury report, and it's Josiah Scott, their cornerback. How do the Eagles stay healthy, especially at this time of the season? Is it something they do in practice? Is it something, is it a caution on their part with as many superstars as they have? Or is it just the team, playing for each other and maybe fighting through some stuff that they don't report?
Well, I think a lot of it starts with Ted Rath, who's one of their trainers. I mean, to give you guys an idea, like how far forward they were thinking about this, when we went to the locker room after the game, next thing you know, we saw like about it was like a triage unit. You had 6 or 7 massage tables right there. And he had this bike, and these guys were already working, trying to prepare for Thursday night's game already. And that seems like that's one of the reasons why they're doing it. Also, when it comes to the scheduling, when you look at the ways that they've held a lot of walkthroughs for a lot of these veteran guys, you got Jason Kelsey's been around for a while, Brandon Graham's been around for a while, Fletcher Cox's been around for a while. And they're using a lot of these walkthroughs now just because pretty much like just nothing they really haven't seen when it comes to that. So when you're utilizing that, you're keeping the players fresher, and you get that, you have a limited amount of injuries. Now, I am a little concerned about Jordan Davis not playing tonight, especially with Dameon Pierce, the good Texas running back. But given that they're on the outside, what they have, I think it could be neutralized a lot when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm. And something else I ask you, kind of a fun question for me, is I'm really tired of seeing this Miami Dolphins stuff from the old days. So is it too early to start discussing maybe some 17-0, or is it, as people outside, because I know the players and the coaches, they're like, no, we're going to the next day. But, those talks have to start creeping around the building at some point, right?
I think it's until the Eagles face you guys down there in Tennessee. I think that's when you start to enter a conversation, because it's such a long stretch between now before you even get to even when they play the Titans as well too. So it's a little rough, and they got the division coming. They got the Commanders coming up, and they won't have Carson Wentz, which will definitely help improve the Commanders, I think, overall on offense. So there's a lot of time to go from there. But listen, when all said and done, I think that they'll pop champagne down there in Miami once again.
Let's hope not. I'm tired of those videos as well. I know there's a group of people out there probably hate hearing that, but it's every year. It's going to be, I'm a Washington Commanders fan today, or whatever it is. If that loss does happen, we're talking with Chris Franklin. Follow him on Twitter at @CFranklinNews, Philadelphia Eagles beat writer for NJ.com. It feels like this is the year, though, for many NFC teams to take control. I mean, coming into the season, we felt, okay, there might be 3 teams that you really need to watch out. And, those 3 teams may have been Tom Brady and the Bucs and Aaron Rodgers and the Packers and Matt Stafford and the Rams. Well, those 3 teams seem like some of the most beautiful teams right now in the NFC. It feels like the Eagles are in not only a place, we don't need to talk about unbeaten streak here, but it seems like at least an NFC championship appearance right now is well within their grasp, especially looking at the remainder, like you were saying, remainder of their season. You go Texans tonight, Commanders, Colts, Packers, then the Titans, then the Giants, Bears, Cowboys, Saints, Giants. I mean, that feels like a really favorable matchup for the rest of the season.
It is, and when I first was going looking at the schedule, I'm like, okay, well, the NFC West is going to be well represented, like you mentioned, the Packers, and I thought maybe the Cowboys may still be because the Eagles hadn't beaten them for a while, but now all of a sudden, who would have thought the NFC East would be the ones where it's plausible where you could have all 4 teams might get in the playoffs now. It's crazy that happens, but yeah, I think the biggest thing for the Eagles to do is continue to go on the streak, because if they get the 1 seed, I think they're a completely different team at home, and when you have that fan base, and as everybody knows how rowdy that fan base could be on a regular season game, but when it comes to the playoffs, it's even stronger. I think is when the Eagles are able to go ahead and get that 1 seed. I think they have a good road ahead to like at least the NFC Championship game, and potentially depending on the matchup. Who knows? As long as if the 49ers somehow get the 1 seed, I think it gets a little questionable when it comes to that. But if the Eagles get it, yeah, they're in a good shape.
Outside of Jalen Hurts, because that might be the obvious answer to this question, what other unit on the Eagles have you kind of seen, whether it may be a player or a unit as a whole, that you're just like, wow, this is the step up that we've been looking to see from this guy or this group?
Well, I think when you look at the linebackers, because there's so many years where around the trade deadline where you're talking about, hey, well, they need to pick up this linebacker, they need to pick up this linebacker, and they can't cover tight ends or the coverage. So this is probably the first year in many that you actually people feel comfortable, like, hey, you know what? They're actually pretty solid there. I think when you look at a guy, the middle linebacker, T.J. Edwards, he's improved a lot. The biggest question on him since he's been in the league has been his pass coverage. Well, he's doing well in like that Tampa 2 look, dropping back into the middle of the field and deflecting passes and setting it up. He's the one who helped set up the C.J. Gardner-Johnson interception last week. And I think when you look at Kaiser White, they haven't had, in my opinion, they haven't had a good cover or linebacker that good since you look back to the years of Carlos Simmons back in that stretch where the Eagles were in the early 2000s. And then you also have Hassan Reddick, who's mainly back and rush, but he's also dropping coverage well too. And he's forcing fumbles. He's playing well. So I think overall, when you look at this linebacking core and what they can help this team out in the second level, I think that's been key for them this year.
Talking with Chris Franklin, Philadelphia Eagles beat writer for NJ.com.
Listen, Chris, I've put the NFC East at the butt of my jokes for a few years now.
Everyone has.
The NFC least, all right? Then we wake up, cold sweat, fever dream, NFC beast. I mean, absolute, so for as great as the Eagles have been and the story, they've been the most polished team in the NFL, is there still a sense of urgency because the Cowboys and the Giants are right behind them, and Washington's still, not even below 500 yet. So is there still that, sense of we need to bridge or we need to separate this gap even more, or is there a time where division play is going to start coming in and that's going to be like where the Eagles try to maximize their potential?
Wait, this is an alternate reality where the NFC East is like really good. This is craziness when you start to look at this stuff. I mean, I think the Cowboys are still you still have to worry about them because they still have the first time they played, they had Cooper Rush. Now you have Dak Prescott, and then the Eagles have to go down there on Christmas Eve to play them, and they're still very talented. You still have Michael Parsons, and you hope for the Eagles' sake that everything's wrapped up so they can start resting people because I think that's a tough place to play at and the last time they were down there, they got blown out there. The Giants, last year they beat them as well, too. I think it was a little different circumstances. I think Brian Daboll's, lack of better words, a more competent head coach they have there now than Joe Judge. So I think they're doing a lot better, and you're starting to see that now. I don't know how much they can rely on Saquon that much because pretty much he's their whole entire offense. But in the Commanders, it feels like they're playing with house money ever since they made the quarterback change. So this division is really tough, and I don't think it's going to be any easy outs when you look at this. I mean, the only way is the only game I think could be really extremely tough where it is, I know for surefire loss is that last game where I think the Eagles will be resting everybody no matter what, if they have a bye week or if they're fighting for playing the Super Wild Card weekend. So, yeah, this division is extremely tough, and I wouldn't be surprised if all these games are either single digit, maybe less than 7 games because the teams are that good now.
I know you cover the Eagles, but Philadelphia right now just feels kind of electric. I don't know. Maybe there's some Philly fans that are kind of out now after last night's no-hit. What is the vibe of the city right now out there with two sports teams that are both, one definitely on top, but the other trying very hard to be on top of the entire MLB? What is the vibe out there right now?
Well, a lot of times we think when we first go against, wait a minute, this is happening in Philadelphia. This can't be happening because it's been so many years even prior to that Eagles Super Bowl win, where it's been a lot well, we know this is going to happen. They got here. How's it going to change? It's been a letdown, but right now it's been electric. You're starting to look usually on the news every day, you see regular stuff okay, you got this politics here, this and that. No, the A block in the news has been nothing but Philadelphia, and then they go commercials oh yeah, by the other news, you got this going on here. It's been crazy seeing everybody, all schools are dressing up now, and even with the Phillies getting no hit last night, which still can't believe that happened, but when you look at that, everybody still has this optimism. They had their one, the Astros were going to bounce back and we're going to beat them out. So, and then you get people are talking soccer now of Philadelphia, all things with the Union being an MLS Cup. I haven't seen anything like this personally, and it's just craziness, and everybody's at a fever pitch over here in Philly.
Y'all started greasing the poles, making sure nobody's
butter them up.
And the thing was, the worst thing that happened for them when they come, it rained that night, and they thought they had the grease there, but it all washed away, so people still found a way to stand up there. And, yeah, at least nobody threw a bottle or hit the head like it happened in 2008. So that was a good year. So it was a good night overall, but, yeah, they're crazy.
Chris Franklin has been our guest. Chris, thanks so much for jumping on with us, my man.
Hey, thanks, guys, for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Follow him on Twitter at @CFranklinNews. Philadelphia Eagles beat writer for NJ.com. Texans and Eagles Thursday Night Football on Prime Video tonight. Remember, you can always go see our friends over at T-Line if you don't have a viewing way to go see it. They're going to have it on the big screens over there. So appreciate Chris jumping on with us there.
Phillies are getting so many championships. They're just going to run out of things to do for the celebrations. So they're just going to be like, dump the tea in the harbor. I don't know. They're like, no, that's not our thing. What else are we going to do?
Yeah.
What else are we going to do?
Boston. That was Boston. Let's break another bell. That's what. All right, we need to take a break. If you want to hear that interview, by the way, if you just kind of jumped in with us, it'll be all on SoundCloud, WNSR.com. Click there, Afternoon Stretch, and you'll be able to hear it right there on our podcast page as well. Back after this here on the Afternoon Stretch.
Good afternoon. Pretty busy on the South Loop. The West Loop's running slow over here on 65 north up around Wedgwood, trying to get up to the South Loop. It's been slow for a while on 440 east over to Nolensville Pike. Heavy but moving on I-40 out through Kingston Springs towards Dixon County. A little bit of radar out there. They've been sneaky on 40 around 840 in Dixon County a little bit earlier. Ripley's Gatlinburg is your one-stop destination for family fun. Check them out online at ripleys.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Jane doesn't mind an apartment with no elevator.
5 flights of stairs is 5 plates of cardio.
Bob is a little less enthusiastic about stairs.
I hate stairs.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle renters and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Jane and Bob found an apartment that's a 4-story walk-up. And Bob?
Yeah, there's a freight elevator she doesn't know about.
What were you talking about?
Oh, nothing.
Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
It's time to gear up for the holiday season. Head over to NFLshop.com today for the largest collection of officially licensed gear from all your favorite brands. NFL Shop is your ultimate gifting destination for jerseys, t-shirts, headwear, and more. Take your game day style to the next level with the best selection of NFL gear anywhere. Show off your team pride this holiday season with styles fit for the whole family. To shop now, go to NFLshop.com.
Slim's Tender Mac Bowls are back. We start with a 3-cheese blend to make our delicious mac and top it with chopped hand-breaded tenders and Colby Jack cheese. Try the Tender Mac Bowl meal or the Buffalo Tender Mac Bowl meal, both served with Texas toast and a medium drink. But hurry, they're only around for a limited time. Download the Slim Chickens app to order and earn rewards.
It's the Afternoon Stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
You know what the Mets stand for?
Metropolitan.
Yeah, that one.
Metropolitan is a flavor of ice cream, right?
Neapolitan.
Oh, okay.
Was that real?
I mean, half and half.
Oh, man, you talk about throwing me off complete. My equator is gone.
The Afternoon Stretch. Afternoon Stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
The Afternoon Stretch, the show endorsed by News Channel 5's John Burton.
Bruno Reagan, Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Appreciate Chris Franklin jumping on with us last segment. Once again, if you want to hear that interview talking about Eagles tonight against the Texans Thursday Night Football, you can find that at WNSR.com. Go click the Afternoon Stretch, and you can listen right there on the website, or if you got Apple Podcasts or SoundCloud or however you need to listen to it, you can find it on those as well, Nashville Sports Radio on those platforms. And you'll be able to hear all of our archived episodes. It's not just us. It's not just Bruno and Zach. It should be. They should at least take our show and play it again the next day, 9 to 11.
There should be a 24-hour Bruno Reagan AI-generated radio show. Which, you know what I'm saying? I think people would love that.
I saw somebody took a shot at you today.
I wonder who, by the way.
Yeah, because now, see, Burton sits there, and we have Justin McFarland sits there, and Bruno sits there. And so for anybody who doesn't know, Bruno Reagan has his playing card from his XFL day. We've kept it here for it's like a year now. It's been a long time. And it's just set there. It was originally just a joke for John Burton to have to see his face every single day. But after a year now, somebody wrote 1 cent on it.
I will say,
it's for sale for 1 cent.
If Justin did this, that's the easiest way to get my respect the fastest.
Yeah.
Is something like this. If it's John, though, it means war. which sucks because me and John have an armistice. We have a ceasefire. So we've been on decent terms. Like we've been on conversating terms. Like I'm dropping off the kids, and you're just like, okay, at least I can say that now. But sometimes a nuke gets launched over the country. That's what happened right now. North Korea-Japan relations with this. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm really interested to find out who did that.
Yeah,
that one's kind of out of the blue a little bit because that, like I said, that card's set there for about a year in the exact same spot.
That card is also worth. It's not worth a cent.
Did you ever sign? I think that one's technically mine.
Yeah.
That I've just left here because what am I going to do?
Well,
I'm going to take it home and forget about it. It's better here.
A friend of ours made a few of them, so I think I brought a few here, and I was like, here, if you guys want them.
We need to get trading cards made of us.
Yeah.
Like the show. Like we have a Devlin card, and like everybody's got like power rankings.
His lock of the week's record.
Yeah, betting. He's all the way 0. His bar's all the way empty at betting, but friendly. Good at his job. Those bars will be up, but 0 is betting.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then you have my betting record on there. It's just 22 and 80, but the 22 were parlays, so it's plus 1,000 units.
And then mine, and that's like I'm 22 and 1, and it's just on the unders of the World Series. I just
not
keep
many more
losing.
unders left.
I'm not betting the World Series anymore.
Nah,
I'm done. You tell me that I hit the over immediately. Week 1, that was the Zach bets on our Bruno's Bets Friday. When I say week 1, game 1, and hit that over, ready to go. And it was an unders day. I knew it was an unders day that night. The game got canceled. They moved it, or postponed, that is. Moved it to tomorrow or the next day. And I was like, oh, no. I don't know if it's an unders anymore. I don't feel comfortable saying it's an unders. And we go over, and it's 7-0 in the 4th inning. And I'm like, oh, this is easy. I just need 8. And Astros can't do anything. Yeah. And then last night, Astros, it was like inning 5, they got to 7. Or what did they get? It got to 5. They got to 5. And I'm still sitting there, okay, no way Phillies get no hit. I think I said that. No way Phillies get no hit.
I stopped watching around the 7th inning. I was like, this is so boring. Oh, my God. This is your championship? Phew.
This is your king?
Did you guys by any chance see the person who put a parlay down on the 76ers?
Yes.
Combined 3-pointers and the Phillies hits at 19.5, and the 76ers hit 19 3-pointers, and there was no hits for the Phillies.
There was a boosted parlay, 2-leg. Unbelievable. 19.5, and the 76ers, 19 3-pointers, and the Phillies can't get a hit? Unbelievable. What do they know? What?
I don't know. I really don't know how they do that. Just some quick stories going around from today in the whole sports world. Michael Thomas needs toe surgery again. Another dislocated toe.
I was in the United States Football League. It was in its first season. I tear my MCL, and I'm like fighting to get back for the guys for pennies. Unironic pennies compared to Michael Thomas.
A bunch of Bruno Reagan trading cards. That's what you were trying to get.
There's just a ton of those. And just it's so different, the mindset. Like Michael Thomas, since he has signed that mega contract, has played, it has to be like 6 games. 3 years ago, he took an entire season off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, talk about robbery. Talk about robbery, man.
Is there any bit of you that thinks this is like just him? Like, I mean, it isn't as bad as things
well, he's
are
getting
being proposed.
Surgery on it, but if you have a relationship with a doctor, I think everyone knows this, especially military people when it comes to getting disabilities. I've been around enough military people training-wise, my own self, to know that people will be like, I know a guy, I know a doctor, you want to go see this guy, he'll sign you off kind of deal. Sometimes it's like that. You're in good with a doctor or training, he'll be like, I'll get you certed for surgery, but I think it is a little bit of Michael.
It's got to be somewhat of it because I just don't think he likes playing. I don't think
nobody in the NFL likes playing. Nobody in the NFL likes playing. I said this before in a tweet. Everyone out there, except for like the Eagles players sometimes, look absolutely miserable. There's no one enjoying the league right now. It's crazy.
Also, Derrick Henry doesn't look like he enjoys it, even when he's 200 yards in. When he's looking at the Texans, it's more like a scary look, like a bad guy kind of look.
I feel like there's potentially 2 people that you could say are actually enjoying themselves right now. It's T.J. Hawkinson and Christian McCaffrey.
Hey, TJ Hawkinson is throwing bombs right now on Detroit Lions. Have you been watching this?
No.
All these quotes that he keeps coming out with. He's just like, he came out with a quote earlier. He's like, it just finally feels like a time that I can say I'm ready to win.
Oh my God.
I mean, this guy is. I'm wondering if there was much more internal problems with TJ Hawkinson at Detroit, because
it could be a million things. You remember on the Hard Knocks, sorry to cut you off, but I have to get this point out or else I'll forget. But you remember on Hard Knocks where that rookie linebacker came in and he was outperforming the vets so much, and the coach was like, I'm going to play y'all, but if y'all don't step up, this young, like, that's the thought process of these coaches, right? It's not, this guy's better, I'm going to start him. It's that. There's so much of that in the National Football League, and I bet that infuriates most people. But go ahead with it.
No, I just think I think he saw the writing on the wall that Detroit's just not just a bad team, but just a bad organization that's not going to win. And now he's with the Vikings, and he sees he's going from a loser to a winner almost immediately, and he's ready to go. I think that's just really what it is. He's on a passing first team that is going to utilize his talents. They love going to the tight end and playing somebody like his role. But it's like it's been such quiet drama, I feel like, with Detroit, maybe if you were there in Detroit, you would know this is happening. But now he just keeps getting out there. And he's like, it's just, I finally feel like I can say I'm ready to win. And you're just like, whoa, take that, Detroit.
You think DeAndre Swift's having that internal dialogue going on right now?
Yes.
Because it seems like he's just out of it mentally.
Wasting his career there. That is the real side of it. I mean, Saquon, look at Saquon. It's right now they're winning at least, but it just felt like for so long he's a great talent that they're just wasting constantly. We need to run to a break. If you want to jump in, Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. Back after this here on the afternoon stretch.
Good afternoon. Heavy we would expect 24 over here at the Sutherland Evans Bridge. It's busy again in Bordeaux. We've watched it run slow on and off 55, actually over there on Briley Parkway, which is 155 northbound, up through Bordeaux this afternoon. That's really busy at County Hospital Road. Watch your speed on I-40, especially out through Kingston Springs. Nash Painting is Middle Tennessee's #1 residential and commercial painters. It's who I trust. You should too. NashPainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Ross Chastain was already on the final lap this week, so how about we get the other three drivers racing for the 2022 Cup Series Championship this weekend from Phoenix. First up is Joey Logano.
Yeah, man, I feel great about our chances. Honestly, I don't really care who else is in. It's about the 22 team winning a second title. That's what it's about. So we just got to do our job and stay focused on us. And like I said, today we do what we need to do to be prepared. We've had 3 weeks to think about our race car. We've had the opportunity to really, really dive deep into Phoenix. And so we'll take that to our advantage and move on.
Christopher Bell.
This next week is easy. We don't have to focus on stage points or where we're at compared to everyone else. It's just one race. Like Adam said, whoever brings the best car and executes the best is going to win the race and the championship. So, I think whatever happens, and I'm very proud to be in this position. It's all about, the sport's all about people. And fortunately for me, I ended up with the best people around me.
And Chase Elliott.
Mixed emotions, I guess, because we made the driver's side and didn't make the owner's side. So would have loved to have gotten the boss, excited from the driver's standpoint. But would have loved to have gotten both those boxes checked. Unfortunately didn't. So working through what we need to work through to get ready for Phoenix, and certainly we'll be ready to go the best we know how by Sunday.
And you're on the final lap.
Repeat after me. I, Kevin, take you, Susan.
I, Kevin, take you, Susan.
It's Jamie from Progressive.
Jamie!
No, it's all right. I can talk. Progressive protects you 24/7, which means you can contact us anytime. I'm getting a loud shh sound, so I'm going to talk louder. What can I help you with today? Oh, yeah, Progressive can do that. Ugh, there's that noise again. Hold on. Let me put you on speaker.
Contact us 24/7 on the phone, online, or on the mobile app. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms.
For all your printing needs this holiday, Staples has you covered.
I need custom printed holiday cards for my one-of-a-kind business.
Staples has you covered.
It's beginning to look a lot like I need custom party invites. Fast.
I need cards for everyone who gave me a hand this year without spending an arm and a leg.
Staples has you covered with personalized holiday cards and invites. And now save 40% on custom holiday cards and invitations. For everything you need printed, go to Staples, the working and learning store. In-store and online, ends 12/17. Exclusions and restrictions apply.
Greg Pogue back once again to tell you about Bongo Java, Nashville's oldest and most celebrated coffee company, now also located in the Omni Nashville Hotel. Reward yourself for surviving Nashville traffic with fresh, locally roasted coffee, classic handcrafted espresso drinks, and fresh baked goods all day long. And free Wi-Fi, so you don't have to work from home. Number one in customer service. You made it through the traffic. Reward yourself with a perfect pick-me-up at Bongo Java. Fresh coffee, delicious treats, great atmosphere. Open 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. daily. Bongo Java at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
The afternoon stretch. The best show? I don't know if I can say that, man. I'm going to move on to the next one.
The afternoon stretch. Final moments of the first hour. Bruno Reagan, Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. If you want to jump in, Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. When we get into the second hour, we get into our Week 9 NFL picks. Happy to say, glad, joyous even, I'm still in the lead. And I've increased my lead from last week.
By 1.
2, I think. I got to go back and look.
We weren't tied. You were up by 1 last week. Now you're up by 2.
I'm so happy. I'm ahead, and that's all that matters.
A lot of season left.
A lot of season left. I agree, but I gotta play my game. Or I just got to pick exactly what you pick for the rest of the year.
Found me. Make for a very boring show.
Yeah, I know. I can't do that.
And the world burns with it.
I'm a content king. I got to show up and make content. That's what it's all about. Devlin, well in third place.
I was there, Devlin. I was there. You can come back, buddy.
I like the underdog story.
I don't like that Bruno's Mr. Positivity here.
Yeah.
You're doing bad. Your picks are bad. And your locks are bad. You're keeping it safe picks are bad. You're bad.
I'm behind the glass, guys. I'm not the one who's doing this. I'm not the sport. I'm not the guy. You know what I mean?
You're just a passerby kind of, right?
You're the average Joe that thinks they can do this, and you just hard reality that you can't. You know.
And we're the people that know we can, and we still don't, and we still go the over in all the World Series games just to be absolutely thrown to the wolves.
Well, it's due now.
It's due. Under or over?
I'm not touching it.
I'm not touching it. We got it when we come back, though. Week 9 picks. Once again, if you want to jump in, Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. First hour done, second hour coming up. Don't go anywhere.
ABC News. I'm Derek Dennis. Voters are focused on the economy this midterm election, and President Biden is facing criticism over the high prices for consumer goods. Today in New Mexico, the president spoke at a community college and highlighted his student debt loan forgiveness program.
We're here today to talk about a key part of what we're doing nationwide. Student debt relief for millions of working and middle-class Americans who are still recovering from the economic crisis caused by the pandemic.
The loan forgiveness program is currently stalled in the courts due to a lawsuit filed by a half a dozen states. North Korea launched more missiles today, triggering evacuation warnings in northern Japan. That prompted the defense secretary and his South Korean counterpart to announce they will extend military drills in the region. Jobless claims fell again last week, signaling employers are still hiring despite rising interest rates and higher costs of doing business. On Wall Street, stocks fell on the heels of the Fed's latest rate hike. This is ABC News.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as
heart disease,
asthma, diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36,
42, You may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
Did you know there's a place where you can get good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates on home and auto insurance? Yep, and that place is, ta-da, State Farm. Here's the deal. State Farm agent Austin Hardy is your go-to agent in the Middle Tennessee community for the service you desire at the price you want. So stop shopping around. State Farm agent Austin Hardy has you covered. Call 615-810-9999 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Tired of the same old company holiday party and looking to reward your team with a fun night out? What about something different for a birthday party or group gathering? Hello, this is Philip Cox of Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers, and we specialize in group events no matter the size at our Tusculum, Donaldson, Hermitage, Murfreesboro, and Hendersonville locations. Plus, Hendersonville and Murfreesboro offer enhanced entertainment options with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. 'Tis the season to have fun with family, friends, and business associates, and there's no better place to do it than at Strike and Spare Family Fun Center. Visit strikeandspare.com to learn about the group outing option. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
It's big Middle Tennessee. Don't miss the Grizzlies this Friday at 7 p.m. as they take on the Charlotte Hornets on Military Appreciation Day, presented by Ashley. Catch all the action, salute our troops, and arrive early. The first 10,000 fans receive a Grizzlies schedule magnet. Get hyped, get ready for a ball, and secure your tickets today by calling 901-888-HOOP or shopgrizzlies.com today.
Okay, it's happening.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Everybody stay calm. Stay calm.
Let's take some calls from the public, shall we?
Join the afternoon stretch now on the Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. Now here's Bruno and Zach.
Second hour of the afternoon stretch here on Nashville Sports Radio. Bruno Reagan, Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Getting into our Week 9 picks. But don't forget, tomorrow, Friday, it all starts, the TSSAA high school football playoffs. And Joe Fisher, Greg Pogue on the call for the Mid-State Checkdown High School game of the week. Riverdale at Lebanon. We're actually going to have Cecil Joyce of the Tennessean who will be covering that game tomorrow on the show at 5:25 to preview it for ourselves here on this very show and also talk about Rutherford County schools as well, taking on Smyrna, Hendersonville. I have a pretty big stake in that one as well. But it'll be a good one then. Bruno Reagan, Ray Doskey in the Mid-State Checkdown Scoreboard show will be on right after that, getting you all your first-round playoff scores, news, all that fun stuff. How many times did you make it to the playoffs?
2. I started my sophomore year. We went then. Then my junior year we went, and then my senior year we were out. So twice.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You would think you would get in it more.
Why?
I don't know. Because you were a great offensive lineman. And if you're anything like...
My high school coaches didn't think so.
Well, I mean, an SEC team thought so. So, I mean...
Well, that shows you where I was at in high school.
Yeah.
Dude, my coaches hated me, so...
Yeah, wow.
Well, they like me now.
How far did you make it in the playoffs in high school?
Never passed the first round.
Really?
Yeah, we ran Jalen Hurd's Beach team.
Oh, well, yeah, that team was.
Yeah.
They were dogs.
That was...
I think they ended up winning state that year.
Yeah. So that's what happened. Yeah, football was always just like a fun side project to me for like my wrestling, where everyone thought I was amazing, which stroked my ego when I was in high school. So I was cool.
Oh, man. 615-844-5600 if you want to get in. Once again, the Cure Hotline. We got to get into our Week 9 NFL picks, but like I hinted at the end of the first hour, I'm on top. It feels great. It feels good to be the best in the room still and have been the best. I've taken the lead from day one all the way now to Week 9, and it feels good. The rankings as they go from bottom to top, which once again, I'm at the top, just in case anyone forgot. Devlin, 64 and 59. You're keeping your head above water, which that's good. I mean, you got that going for you.
I'll take it. I mean, I'm positive.
Positive.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're picking just straights all, you're in the money, which is great. Bruno, 67 and 56. And yeah, I have a 3-game lead on you now. I'm 70 and 53.
You want a little tap on the back? You want a little pat on the head? You want okay? Shut up!
I want all of it. I want all the smoke. I want all the congratulations.
I don't smoke. I'm an athlete, so
because I am a top. It's heavy the head that wears the crown, and
you're heavy, all right.
Big, strong shoulders.
Oh, you're heavy,
wide,
you know what I'm
strong. I can handle it. Whether you give me congratulations or hate, I feed off of it because I'm on top. I'm the power. I'm the one that knocks, Bruno.
Yeah. Just so people know, like, we've always been very transparent. Like how when Mike and Mike, everyone was like, do they,
they
like
hate each other.
And I hate you.
Yeah, they didn't talk to each other for like 6 years or something like that outside of the show.
Yeah.
No. Bruno and I actually love each other. It's all good. We'll get there though. We're only
No, I know. No,
yeah,
I know.
Eventually, like, I'm actually looking forward to it.
Me too.
We just never say a word to each other, and we just sit opposite
It's
rooms.
really not even that I don't like you. It's just I have extreme anxiety. I don't like talking to people in general. So.
God forbid a woman walk by. Then you really can't talk. Do you like judo?
No, I love talking to women. I just don't like it when they expect things from me. That's what bothers me.
We're gonna get you a nice girlfriend. There is a wonderful woman
as
out there
long as
for
you say girlfriend and not wife, I'm cool.
Well, the girlfriend becomes a wife. You don't just well, Bruno, see, that's how far gone he is, Devlin. You don't just go from nobody to wife. That's not really the way it works around here.
Well, I'm just saying, as long as they know they're not gonna get the wife.
Like you're never
title.
buying the ring.
Yes.
Oh well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. The heart does play funny tricks. Let's get into our Week 9 picks, huh? You want to do that, or do you want to keep talking about your dating problems?
It's not problems. The problem is I don't want to do
it. Philadelphia Eagles at the Houston Texans on the road. It is a 14-point spread on this one, so we play the spreads on our pick'ems. Where do we start here, Bruno?
Eagles.
They cover the 2 touchdowns.
They're going to cover 11 touchdowns. I might go alternate spread of I don't know. This is going to be an awful game.
Yeah. Devlin?
Bang, bang, bird gang.
Oh, you held that one in, I feel
Something's going on in Philly, and it's great. And I think they're going to cover this spread, and I think Bruno's right. An alternate spread could be used, but they're covering 14.
The over-under in this one, for everyone, just to know, 45.5. I'm gonna go Eagles. This is a system pick because I really do. For 2 touchdowns, are you kidding me? That's just so much. It's possible, I get it, but I don't know. That one scares me. This is a system pick though. It's not this isn't a stone cold lock, into it all or anything like that. Because I just feel like they could be closer because the NFL is close. The NFL is never really 14 points. I mean, it happens. You have the Bills and Titans. You have the Bills and Pittsburgh. You have those, but that's it. That's the only 2.
There's a real world where the Texans can just win. It's football. Any given Sunday. There's a reason that's a saying.
And it's Thursday, so that makes it even more important. Indianapolis at New England. This used to be one of the biggest rivalries back when it was Peyton Manning, his forehead taking on Tom Brady, and his hair. That was the biggest one, and that rivalry is completely dead.
Those were the last 2 people that cared about football on the planet. Now one makes jokes about football and how much everyone sucks. He's sitting there calling timeouts for the head coaches. The other one's life has crumbled beneath him. So it shows you
To be fair, they should have called the timeout. He was right on that one.
No, Peyton Manning's no, it's every week. He's like, what are they doing?
Why did I not
the
do
Manning
this?
cast, originally, it wasn't like that interesting to me. But watching Peyton Manning freak out the same way I do, asking these questions like, what are these people doing? That's entertaining.
Indianapolis, 4.5-point dogs going on the road to New England. 40.5 points on the over-under here, Bruno.
I'm finding it on my own little thing. New England Colts?
Yes. Welcome to the show.
Well, so I don't know what list you go by. I try to go down the
FanDuel,
list.
code 2AS.
Okay. I'm on the ESPN list. So I just scroll
that's
down to my own line.
same.
Because the Colts are not, or the Patriots are not that much better than the Colts, I feel like. I truly feel like the Colts are a decent team just ravaged by the losing bug. Is there any teams in our history that we're just like, how come this team loses? It doesn't make sense.
For the longest time, it was the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, back with Alex Smith at quarterback, and even before that, when they had Trent Green with Tony Gonzalez, like they would get in the playoffs and just get bounced every single year, it felt like.
When I get, I'm not going to overthink. When I get into these conversations, I'm like, who has the better quarterback? And Mac Jones, for all it's worth, it was a Pro Bowl level quarterback. So I'll go with Patriots.
Devlin.
Yeah, I'm going with the Patriots here. I feel like I'm not trying to get cute. I feel like taking the Colts in this game is cute. I don't like it.
That is being very cute. I'm not taking them either. I'm going the Patriots. It's at home in Gillette. I think that's going to be a big side for them.
Stevenson also playing like a
Ramondre,
much better running back than Jonathan Taylor.
More like Ramonster Stevenson, right? We're out of Halloween now, so that doesn't count. Buffalo at New York Jets. They will be in New York, New Jersey.
Spread game.
11.5 is this one. 46.5 is the over-under in this. So taking the spread on it, where are we going with this?
Going with the Bills. Zach Wilson is the worst quarterback I've ever seen. And the only way the Bills don't cover is if Josh Allen gets pretty and wants to do the stupid stuff and turn the ball over himself. So it's the only way they don't cover. I would hope that Josh Allen just goes in and gets the job done.
I'm counting on Zach Wilson to throw 2 to 3 picks in this game, so I'm going with the Bills as well. I know it's a lot of points here, but I just cannot see Zach Wilson competing at all with this team.
I wasn't even going to ask you if you were taking it because I knew you were. Because the Bills are plus 20. You're like, yes, Bills. I just believe in them because you've done it all year. You questioned Aaron Rodgers, and you're like, no, it's not going to happen, and he didn't cover it. So you're 1 for 1 on Bills and the over and spread. So keep that in mind.
Yep.
Rubber match coming up for you.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm taking the Jets. I think the Jets are going to cover this. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't have a real right bone in my body, but I think they're going to cover it. I'm sticking in the 11.5. I think it's just a weird. It's also a weird number. 11.5. You're telling me the Eagles can't sneak in just enough field goals in the game to get within 11.5? I think that's what's going to happen here. Miami at Chicago, 4.5 is the line. The favorites are the road team, the Miami Dolphins. It's a 45.5-point over-under on this one.
Yeah, in games where Tua doesn't absolutely get destroyed and die, they win the game. They have been on this winning streak going back to last year after that terrible losing streak. They're still on the streak with Tua. And when things looked aghast and against them and against the Lions on the road, they came back and they won. So
aghast? Look at that Vandy word coming out.
Shut up.
That was good.
Dolphins.
Dolphins in this one for Bruno. Where is Sir Devlin?
I'm getting cute here. I'm taking Chicago. I love what Justin Fields is doing in these last 4 weeks. I think Miami came out looking rough against Detroit, of all teams, last week. I think there's a real life chance that the Bears can win this game, like Bruno said, any given Sunday. This could be their chance. And I think Chicago made good moves before the trade deadline. Obviously, Miami did too. They're going for it this year. But I'm just gonna get risky. Give me the Bears.
I mean, what a Chase Claypool showing up. Can Justin Fields get him the ball? The real side of it, I think, for Chicago that's made me feel, if I was possibly on the fence of taking Chicago here, is that they've started letting Justin Fields run the ball, which is his strength. He's good. He gets outside of the pocket, and he can make a lot happen with his legs. So there's a world where I want to take Chicago. That world is insane. I'm taking Miami. I think Miami's for sure going to win this one. You fool.
You guys did call me insane for taking the Browns, which I did take the Browns last week.
Well, it's just terrible
Zach
program.
Zach has a problem with calling people stupid and insane and getting absolutely trounced on, like, remember the first week one, like it was like week 2. You're like, you guys are idiots, and then like
you both are idiots. I'm leading this, so I'm doing well.
I can't argue.
7.
week 9.
Hey, I'm just saying. Whatever. I'm just saying. I was last year's pick champion. I was last year's fantasy football champion. I'm probably going to win both again this year. You know,
Don't let my team in fantasy show up. That's all I got to say. If they get in, I'm going to be a problem. Yeah. I'm going to be unbearable on this show. That's what's going to happen. Green Bay at Detroit. This is going to be a real barn burner. 3.5 are the favorites for the Green Bay Packers, who are on the road. I'm surprised they're the favorites on the road. This game in Detroit. 49.5 point over-under in this contest.
The Lions know they're collapsing. Green Bay has still yet to give in. I think being down to the Lions...
We can still win, right, guys?
Well, I think being down to the Lions at halftime while they're just shooting it up, doing whatever they want, relaxing, I think that's going to truly break the Packers. I'll go the Lions again. Maybe this is the one that differentiates me from the pack.
I'm taking the Packers in this game, not because I like what they're doing or because I don't like Detroit. It's just strictly because they're due. Packers are due.
They are. And Detroit, even though they got close against Miami, losing TJ Hawkinson, I think it's going to be a big loss. I think that's really going to be a big loss for that team. And they have, Amon-Ra St. Brown, everybody's like, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's about to blow up. It's his world now. And it's really, he's the only target out there. There's no DJ Chark. You still don't have Jameson Williams. And
Josh Reynolds,
Josh Reynolds. That's like who it is. And I'm not saying Josh Reynolds is bad. I loved him when he was here in Tennessee. They had some great plays designed for him.
It's like Westbrook going out somewhere and being the number one. You know, it just doesn't. That's a bad look.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is why it's an easy Green Bay pick for me. I think Green Bay. I like the idea that they're due. Detroit getting close against Miami. It's just now they're due for being blown out because they had a close one against a team that nobody thought they were going to beat. So now they're going to be just trounced at home. And let's face it, Aaron Rodgers, he owns the Bears and he owns the Lions. That is the two that are just never going to beat him. This is Tom Brady beating the Jets and beating what other team up in the Eagles for so long? The
Bills.
AFC Bills. That's just who it's going to be.
He lost 3 times to the Bills, where he won 30 of the matches.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Minnesota Vikings taking on the Washington Commanders. The Vikings. There are tons of road favorites in this one. That's crazy to me that we're seeing another one. Vikings on the road to Washington. They are the favorites going into the Commanders. Taylor Heineke, you picked against your boy last week. Wrong. I got him. I picked for him, and he won. Who are you taking this week?
I'll do it again. I'm going the Vikings. Vikings are a team looking to make the jump. No, I like Taylor. But I think even he would agree with me. It's like, no, I deserve to be the underdog, and it's my job to prove everyone wrong. And to that I say, kudos to you, sir. But Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins, he's playing really well. TJ Hawkinson, it's noon.
Yeah, no, it's too much of it. Devlin.
Yep, noon Kirk.
Are you surprised it's a 3-point spread? It is a road game for the Vikings, but
no, that sounds about right in the National Football League.
You're taking Minnesota, Devlin?
Yeah, I will take Kirk Cousins at noon any day of the week, no matter who they play.
This is your Cowboys idea.
Yeah, 100%.
Just no matter what, I'm taking this. I don't care. Mm-hmm. The numbers will work out in the end of everything. I'm going to take Minnesota. I'm not going to be crazy this time. I will tell you this. My heart will be overjoyed if Washington gets a win. I don't know why I'm rooting for Washington. I think I just like the scrappiness of Taylor Heineke, the situation for it. The poor guy's just he'll never get the recognition he really deserves on that
Taylor?
team. Yeah.
Don't say poor guy.
No. I'm saying poor guy because of his Carson Wentz. They're like, well, we're going to pay him $30 million, so we have to play him. And I understand that rhetoric.
Yeah,
but
and then he's like,
he's better. Taylor Heineke's better for the Commanders, and I feel like everybody on that team knows that too. But it's just a crazy world right now that people are like, well, we just have to play the money no matter what.
Yep.
And Heineke should have probably. I'm not saying they should have gave him $30 million, but they should have gave him something.
He's getting $150K bonus every time he starts, and an extra $150K every time he wins. No, I don't feel bad for him.
No, I
get what you're saying.
And that's me. I'm talking about a moral sense.
And I think, I don't know if I think he signed a 1 year, so he's going to have a few more years in this league if he wants to.
Oh, for sure. For sure he will. We need to take a break. But before we go to that break, now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because right now new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just sign up with the promo code TAS, the afternoon stretch, TAS. There's so many reasons to use them. One of my favorite is how fast you get paid on your winnings. You get them so quick. The second you win, you're able to turn that around and get it out to more, maybe same-game parlays. We love same-game parlays on this show. All on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. That's really important to me. So sign up today with promo code TAS, the afternoon stretch, for your no-sweat first bet. That promo code again, TAS. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Got to be 21 and up and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Good afternoon. We're starting to see a backup develop out in Williamson County on 840 eastbound around Highway 41. Just allow yourself a little bit of extra time through that section of Williamson County. Heavy here on the South Loop, crawling 440 east in Berry Hill, trying to get past Nolensville. Applying a steady flow of traffic continues on I-40 out through Kingston Springs. That's actually been in pretty good shape, continuing out into Dixon County. Hey, Nash Painting is Middle Tennessee's #1 residential and commercial painters. It's who I trust, and you should too. Call Nash Painting at 615-829-6858.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if the prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Results are guaranteed or your money back. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Attention. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, this message is for you. Congress has passed $80 billion in funding to more than double the size of the IRS. 87,000 new IRS employees means more audits, collections, and penalties. This will make the IRS larger than the Pentagon, State Department, FBI, and Border Control combined. Now is the time to call Civic Tax Relief.
I owe the IRS $37,000. Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Their tax resolution specialists can stop the IRS from taking money out of your paycheck.
With Civic Tax Relief, they were able to save me upwards of $80,000 that I would have had to pay.
For your free tax relief information, call now. 800-841-0908. 800-841-0908.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
800-841-0908.
Hey Nashville, Ray here from Run With It. Let me tell you about our sponsor, Boom Boss Craft Pizza and Tap House, and with 4 locations in Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Spring Hill, and East Nashville. They're your home for the best gourmet pizza and craft beers in Music City. Join me on Monday nights at the East Nashville location for poker night, and if you think you know everything, try Wednesday night trivia at both locations. Gourmet pizzas, craft beers, online at BoomBozz.com. Boom Boss Craft Pizza and Tap House.
Hello, this is Greg Pogue inviting you to join Joe Fisher and me for the Mid-State Checkdown High School Game of the Week Friday night, presented by Tim Leeper Roofing, with a Class 6A first-round playoff match between the Riverdale Warriors and host Lebanon Blue Devils. Our prep football playoffs coverage presented by Tim Leeper Roofing begins with a pregame show at 6:45 and kickoff at 7. And then after the game, the scoreboard show with Bruno, Reagan, and Ray Dosky. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, WNSR.com, and the station app. That's Riverdale at Lebanon and the Class 6A playoffs Friday night, right here on Nashville Sports Radio.
Follow the afternoon stretch on Twitter at Bruno Reagan and Zachariah W. Really, man? You want that? I'm not spelling that out.
The afternoon stretch, Bruno Reagan, Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams. You just heard Greg Pogue tell you about it on that promo. Mid-State Checkdown Game of the Week. Riverdale at Lebanon, round 1 of the TSSAA playoffs. That'll be 6A region there, or 6A classification playoffs, that is. That'll be a fun one. That'll be a fun game. Joe Fisher, Greg Pogue on the call for there. Bruno Reagan, Ray Dosky after the game is over and you're trying to get all the scores, know what's going on. Sometimes it's like herding cats into a bag. You just can't really get them all in that bag and keep them in the bag. But Ray Dosky and Bruno Reagan, they have all those scores for you. They can get it all for you on the Mid-State Checkdown Scoreboard Show.
I have all the cats, and I have all the bags, and all the cats are indeed in my bag.
Where did you get so many cats and bags? It's just crazy. We left off with our Week 9 picks. Remember, if you want to jump in, Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. We want to hear from you. Last picks were Minnesota at Washington. We all took Minnesota. We've kind of been pretty together on majority of the picks so far, but we continue into the forest. Carolina Panthers at Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are the home favorites against the Panthers. 42.5 over-under in this game.
Bengals do, I think, bounce back, but betting against P.J. Walker's Panthers are absolutely horrifying.
I would take Panthers in the points in this one. A full touchdown?
Yeah. I would take the points, but on the spread, I will go again with the Bengals, even after whatever we just watched. That was, talk about boring.
Talk about spooky season. It was on Halloween.
I know Devlin was really pumped about that game, but I was so bored watching that game. I'm going Bengals again.
The only thing worse than Devlin getting our keeping it safe picks wrong is him getting one pick right.
It's us clearly betting the bank on the Bengals and him like, the Browns are winning, yay!
Yeah, I know.
Like I'm not about to
what a bad friend.
Commit arson. Yeah.
Devlin, where are you going with this one?
This, believe it or not, is a difficult pick because if you guys did watch the entire game, the Bengals looked lost without Jamar Chase. I mean, they looked like he didn't know what to do. It was really, really bad. With that being said, I'm still going to take the Bengals. I'd even take them on the points. I think they can cover that at home, but man, it's tough. They look real bad.
My favorite, Bruno, that I've noticed with Devlin is here comes long explanation to just end up taking the Ohio team. Yeah. To talk about why he's just definitely going to take this, even though he already knew there was no shot, but he wants to goad you in a little bit, and he's like, but I'm going to take the Bengals. Oh man,
I love you, Devlin.
I know, I love you so much. It's so great.
I
having
wouldn't
you
go
here.
that far, but
I'm in love with you. Let's see, Carolina Panthers, Bengals. I mean, I think Bengals are going to bounce back too. I don't know. Maybe it is without Jamar Chase. They really are lost. There's a world of that. But Joe Mixon also played bad. I wouldn't think how not having Jamar Chase is going to affect Joe Mixon, but maybe it is. But getting back home, this seems like Cincinnati would. But I'm telling you this, we're taking just straight picks here. I would 100% take. I will be taking that 7.5. That is, I feel like, easy money. Co-TAS on FanDuel. That might be, I don't know. That might be our keeping a safe pick tomorrow for me.
We'll see.
Possibly. Los Angeles Chargers taking on the hot Atlanta Falcons, who have been very good under Marcus Mariota, leading the NFC South right now. They are the road favorites, are the Chargers on this one. Again, this is the 5th road favorite that we've had so far in this week. Something's not clicking here.
And yeah, no, it's not, because I'm going all in with the Falcons on this one. I think the Falcons believe in it. I think they have something to play for, and they might have better coaching. And people are like, why isn't Kyle Pitts getting more reps? Well, I mean, your team was expected to be one of the worst in the National Football League, and they are currently leading their division. So maybe we should all just shut up and let that one go for a ride. And the Chargers, they could have been in the playoff last year, but their coach is he belongs in like Chess Online 1300 ELO matches, not NFL games. So go ahead.
I don't even know who's catching passes for LA.
Joshua Palmer.
And then, I mean,
Is Mike Williams out?
Mike Williams is out.
For a month.
Keenan Allen looks like he's going to be out.
When Mike Williams was in, they'd stop throwing to him. So whatever, actually.
Still, I mean, I don't even know if Herbert's healthy. Eckler and Gerald Everett versus the Falcons.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm taking the Falcons.
Amazing Eckler fantasy projections going on right now. That's about it.
Because he has nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they literally have nobody else to throw the ball to. Yeah. I'm gonna rock with y'all as well in this one. I'm going Atlanta as well. Once again, this is +3 right now for the Falcons. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. I don't know how that's there's so many road dogs in this one, and let's continue the conversation with the Las Vegas Raiders on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are the home underdogs in this one, 47.5. This is a week of a crazy parlay. You know how every week in betting, not just sidetracking here a little bit, there eventually we get that one week where guys like set to win $1 million because he put $2 down on some crazy parlay. That is this week, I feel, with all these home dogs. That like it is turning up Vegas. I don't know what Vegas is doing. Maybe they know. I don't know. But
if there's any game I like the least, it's this one to like try and judge because I just have no idea. So just off personal bias of me not liking the Carr family, I'll go the Jaguars.
Devlin?
I'm taking the Raiders in this one. They just got shut out. Good. I think they're going to bounce back. I like the Raiders. I mean, the Jags suck. They haven't done anything since week 2. They're done. I mean, not that the
stick
Raiders
a fork
are
in them,
good,
huh?
But
stick a fork in them.
Listen, Raiders, I like that team more this week.
Yeah, good. I'm taking the Jaguars. I'm taking Jacksonville all the way. Second I heard it say it, I was like, we're in.
That's like
we're
100%.
I actually, if you look, I had already wrote my name down on Jacksonville before you even picked, so I was already in on Jacksonville. Another one, plus 1.5 on Jacksonville. I think they get a little bounce back. Travis Etienne is playing good again, now that he's getting the full workload, I think they get a win.
I just want to see the Raiders fail simply because Derek Carr will go out there, act like the nicest dude in the world. They'll lose 6 games in a row, and then David Carr will go on Twitter. He'll be like, "That's you guys don't understand football. Losing 6 in a row is actually a good thing." And so I'm totally. And then they'll all block everyone on Twitter that mentions the name. So I'm down.
Home favorites are gone in this one. Seattle at Arizona. The Cardinals are the favorite in this one. What are we doing? I mean, this is crazy. Seattle is might be the best team out of some of the teams we just talked about inside of these, but all the same, 2.5-point favorites are the Cardinals. 49.5-point over under in this one.
Personally, like I like the Cardinals, but I just think they want Kingsbury out. There's that dynamic is over. The turnover is going to happen eventually. So I would bet on Pete Carroll and their confident Seattle. This might be end up being my lock of the week. Personally, we'll see tomorrow, but I'm going Seattle.
Devlin,
Vegas knows. I'm taking the Cardinals.
No,
home favorites for a reason. Hopkins is about to snap.
That will probably happen.
Yeah.
And I think this Cinderella story comes to an end this week. I mean, not to an end. I think they win the division potentially, but I think the Cardinals win this division game at home.
To be fair, Hopkins has already been snapping, and they still are losing. So I don't know if that really is. You need like Enzo to snap, or you need Kyler to snap.
This has trap game written all over it.
They're the favorites.
But like you said, everybody is expecting Seattle to win this game, right?
Not Vegas.
Exactly. Trap game.
All right. I'm taking Seattle. I'm taking the Dirty Birds up north. That's what I'm taking.
Bounce back week.
Bounce back week for Devlin. It's coming. Los Angeles Rams taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are the 3-point favorite in this contest at home. 42.5-point over under.
I'm going with the Rams simply because at least they have Cooper Kupp, right? Like
hobbled.
Yeah, but everyone's struggling, and at least the Rams have a single like outlook of a player. I think they're all around better. You know, I would take Aaron Donald over Vita Vea. I would take Jalen Ramsey over anybody the Bucs have in their secondary. So I'm personally going to go the Rams. I think Tom Brady's descent continues.
Devlin.
It's crazy that this matchup would have been awesome to watch last year, and now I could just care less about it. I'm taking the Buccaneers in this one strictly because I think they have a better running game, and I like Tom Brady more than I like Matt Stafford.
I'm gonna be dumb here. I'm gonna take Tom Brady with you. I think TB12 shows up. I'm gonna go the Rams. I'm gonna go the Bucs on this one. It just feels.
You almost pulled the Devlin there.
I know, I almost did. It feels good. It feels good. It feels right, and I got to do what feels good and what feels right. Sunday Night Football. Let's take a little time on this one because this is crazy talk here. Titans at the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead, prime time, 12.5-point spread on this one. So this is a spread game. 44.5 is the over-under. This is a low-scoring Titans game, what Vegas is predicting here.
All right, and so I'll get it out of the way. Titans on the points. Now, we saw with the Titans what happened with the Bills this year. So when the Titans play a quote-unquote elite team, they can falter. But look at the consistencies with Mike Vrabel and Andy Reid and their records against each other. The Titans' record against the Chiefs. It's always ends up being in the Titans' favor. I think this is one of those where the public might be really on the Chiefs. I think the Titans. I think they do. I'm taking the points. I'm not taking them. Money line might be in the conversation here too. Personally, that's just me.
A lot of people are nervous. Derrick Henry was out of practice today. Ryan Tannehill out of practice today. I think the Derrick Henry side of it is more just we're giving this guy 30-plus carries, and I think they're expecting Ryan Tannehill to be out. There's no definite here. I don't think Ryan Tannehill's playing in this game. I think you're either going to get Malik Willis or you're going to get Logan Woodside. That's going to be the two options that are going to go for the Titans. There's nothing official about that. I'm not reporting that. I'm just saying that is my pick of that, what's going to happen in this situation. And the reason why they're keeping Derrick Henry out is because Tannehill's not going to be out there, and they know it's going to be a chance that Derrick's going to get near 40 carries if they win this game. He's going to get close to 40 carries. I don't know what the record is on carries in a single NFL game, if anybody wants to look that up. I'm not sure what it is, but I have a feeling Derrick Henry is going to get near that if the game is swayed in the tie. That's the one way. If you're going to beat Arrowhead, we saw this in primetime 2 years ago, in the season they end up going and win the Super Bowl against the 49ers. It was Jacoby Brissett and the Indianapolis Colts running it with who's the former running back for them right before Jonathan Taylor. He got injured. Now he's been
Marlon Mack?
Marlon Mack.
Yeah.
Thank you. Marlon Mack. Yeah, you knew. You got hosted with him, right? That was the whole thing.
Well,
UCF.
they were hosting Marlon Mack, and I was just so happy to be there. I was also
USF.
Yeah,
USF. But that was a game where Colts didn't do anything fancy. They were in Arrowhead, and they just ran the ball down the throats of the Kansas City Chiefs. And it took Patrick Mahomes off the field, which is what you got to do. I think that's going to be the Tennessee Titans' game plan in this one. Keep Patrick Mahomes off the field.
The record for most carries in a game, Jamie Morris, 1988 versus the Bengals, 45 carries.
I think
I was going to guess 45 when you originally asked, but I was like, that might be too low. So I was right mentally.
Derrick Henry,
he could do 45.
He could do 46. He really, there's a world that he does 46 carries. And I think that's why the Titans have had him out the past 2 weeks. The past 2 practices. Not having him out there because they're just like, look, you know what you're going to do. And you're going to stay. We need to keep you as rested because we're coming off now back-to-back weeks of 30-plus carries in that game, in games for Derrick Henry. And he's going to have a large workload, and I think that's because Ryan Tannehill's not going to be out there. Now, how do we believe that affects what we're talking about here, which is the picks? 12.5 points. I'm on this with Bruno. I'm going to take Tennessee Titans in the points. I'm not going to say they're going to win. I'm just going to say that I think they stay within 12 because I think this game, which the over-under on FanDuel right now is 44.5, it's low for a reason. I think Vegas thinks that this is going to be a low-scoring game on both sides. I still would take the under on that. I would still take the under on that one. Devlin, who are you taking with this?
I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm looking at alternate spreads right now. 36.5 is plus 1,400. Was thinking about throwing some money on something ridiculous. I think the Chiefs.
It's 36.5. That's what I'm talking about here. That's kind of where I'm looking at.
Look, I think the Chiefs cover this easily. The Titans going to be playing from behind early. I think the Chiefs come out there and score. I don't think they're going to have the option to run the ball. They're going to burn too much clock. Chiefs cover this one. I would even put 14.
Wow. All right, Devlin's on with the Chiefs. Monday Night Football, Baltimore Ravens at New Orleans Saints. Both teams have just lost their wide receivers for the year. Rashad Bateman's out as well with an injury. Michael Thomas, another dislocated toe. 2.5-point favorites are the road Ravens going to New Orleans. Shocking again, 47.5 over-under.
Yeah, I'm with the Bird Gang. I think they're a lot better team than the Saints, and the Saints know that they really have a long shot to even compete in their division. So I'm going to go with the Birds, even though they lost Bateman.
Devlin.
I'm not going to get cute here. I'm taking the Ravens. Like Bruno said, they're a better team. I don't like the Saints.
I'm taking the Saints. I think Alvin Kamara is back to his ways, and they are figuring out when they give Alvin Kamara the workload that he deserves, they win.
Before you put pen to paper,
Already did.
Okay. You're betting on primetime Andy Dalton. Just throwing that out there.
It's true.
That's
my middle name is Danger.
I mean, he's bad.
Andy Dalton did have 4 touchdowns in that primetime game where he threw 2 pick sixes beforehand.
But he had 400 yards. I mean, it wasn't like he played bad. And I wouldn't say the reason they lost was because of Andy Dalton. And the 2 of those pick sixes were just the 2 pick sixes were just wild that they ended up that way. I mean,
it's not about his performance. It's about the curse.
Well, we'll see. I'm going Saints. I appreciate checking in on me. I like that. That's fine. But I'm keeping the Saints here. I like them. I liked them last week against the Raiders, and they came out and handled business on the road. Now they're coming back home. They're starting to build something up. They know Michael Thomas isn't going to be there anymore. I think that helps them, actually, believe it or not. They don't have to worry about if and what's going to happen. Now they can just completely game plan that he's not going to be there. Yeah. So I'm happy with that. We need to run to a break. Before we go to the break, talk about our friends over at Slim Chickens. You've been hearing the ad. I've told you many times, Slim Chickens has the Mac Tender Bowls back. That is my favorite thing Slim Chickens puts out, and they only do it limited time during the fall season. You got to go check them out. Murfreesboro, Mount Juliet, and Hendersonville. That Tender Mac Bowl, it's tenders, chicken tenders cut up, macaroni and cheese, and get the buffalo style. That's my favorite. Buffalo sauce on top, and they put those chives on top, and it's just, oh my goodness, my mouth's watering right now. It comes with Texas toast and a drink. It gets you in the right state of mind to watch a big game, and there's plenty of them this weekend, so you need to go check out our friends. Download the Slim Chickens app. That makes it the easiest. You earn points when you buy through the app, and you can get it delivered to your home, office, wherever you are, or do like I do. Do the curbside pickup. It's the easiest thing you can do. Order it, ride up, have it picked up, and then leave. You skip the line, skip the wait. It's so simple, so easy. Once again, Murfreesboro, Mount Juliet, and Hendersonville. That's Slim Chickens, wings, tenders, and more.
Good afternoon. There's still a couple of wrecks around town right now. We're still seeing the slow-go traffic over here on 440 eastbound, just trying to get past Nolensville Pike. It got a little bit heavy a few minutes ago westbound on I-40 as you continue out past Briley. A lot of that traffic headed out towards Dixon County actually has been in pretty good shape so far. Hey, Nash Painting is Middle Tennessee's #1 residential and commercial painters. It's who I trust. Call Nash Painting at 615-829-6858 or go online to nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Join today and get started with $150 in free bets guaranteed. When you place your first $5 bet, that's a free bet back. Your first bet doesn't win. Just sign up with the promo code WNSR. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from the money line to point spreads to player props. You can combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the same game parlay. With live betting, you'll get updated odds on games that have already started. Super easy to use. Don't fumble your chance to get $150 in free bets. Win or lose with the promo code WNSR. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You must be 21 years of age or older and present here in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued, non-withdrawable. Free bets that expire in 14 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuities in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits from financially strong insurers.
Call 800-715-9880.
That's right, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling today.
Call 800-715-9880. That's 800-715-9880.
Sponsored by Annuity General. Producers have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer. Increased income is possible using strategies suited to your goals and may require buying multiple annuities and holding them full term.
Hey, football fan. The 2023 Commodore Sport Event posters are out and brought to you by these great sponsors. Master Battery, Ewing Bass Garage and Transmission, Nationwide Business Brothers, Parker and Watts Insurance, Firefly Pediatric Dentistry, Joe Line Concrete Service, Affordable Building Cleaning, Morton Plumbing, Shane Trucking and Excavating, Hargrove Body Shop, Frederick and Clark Realty, LLC, Richard Courtney. Brought to you and paid for by Prestige Marketing, LLC. Visit them online at prestigemarketingllc.com.
Five-state forecast. Your exclusive Nashville Sports Radio WNSR Skyscan forecast for this afternoon. Blue skies and green lights. A high of 76 today. Clear skies overnight, a low of 56. No rain in sight. Sunshine Friday, a high of 78. Utilizing the resource.
A show called The Afternoon Stretch is a stretch. Calling it a show. The Afternoon Stretch.
The Afternoon Stretch. Bruno Reagan, Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Final segment. If you want to jump in, Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. Now we get to do what I don't know is a good or bad thing anymore. I just know it's not the World Series, which is all that matters. Bruno's Bets.
Now, it's time to make money off of other people playing sports because taking gambling advice from a guy named Bruno isn't shady at all. This is Bruno's Bets.
Guaranteed to have an outcome.
So I have a two-leg parlay that I like tonight, and then I'll get your guys' opinion on one of my favorite props on FanDuel, code TAS, first-time touchdown scorer. Because there's some conversations to be had there.
I have not yet. I haven't seen the AI guy because I deleted TikTok, so I don't know. If
I don't
seen
like.
the
I don't
AI
like.
guy.
It's fun. It was fun the first time. I don't like constantly relying on that.
But he's so close.
This is Bruno's Bets. We're doing.
No, it's Bruno's Bets, but I like
it. You can
it.
be close. It's not hard to be close. If you're not right, you're not right. So let's call it what it is. All right.
Like it's close.
There we go. Starting off tonight, I'm taking the Eagles on the spread. I think Houston's an absolute train wreck disaster. I think Philadelphia is going to at least put on a show for us. One of the first. I mean, we're talking Thursday Night Football. The Eagles will be the show tonight to watch on Prime. I'm so excited to see it. Hopefully they answer the call because they've been an absolute firepower on the offense. They can rush the ball. Jalen Hurts can run the ball, throw the ball. Sanders has done really well. A.J. Brown, 5-touchdown player right now, on track for a 1,000-yard season easily. So I'm really excited. I think I have them on the points. And I have Davis Mills under 206 yards passing, which I thought was an absolute steal. Cooper Rush, his props when he first started was like 180, 190. Justin Fields, he's like 180, 190. David Mills has struggled this season. I think I like him on the under. And if you can't, I tried to get under 1.5 touchdowns for him too, but you can't same game parlay it. So we'll just go with the under yards for now.
So Davis Mills under 206.
Yep.
And what was your other one on the two-leg?
Philadelphia on the spread.
Philadelphia on the spread.
And that's plus, it essentially doubles, so it's plus 199 when you parlay them.
I'm worried garbage time is going to get you. That's the
possible.
only thing.
Very possible, but I don't like accounting for garbage time. If it happens, it happens. It just is what it is. I think Philadelphia is truly 2 touchdowns better than the Texans.
And then
now we can start talking through anytime touchdown because I'm chomping at the bit.
Real quick, what's the payout on that? Devlin's got it on the screen right now.
Plus 199. So I put 25 or I put 50 on it, and that would win 100.
$100 put down gets you $194. Is that what that says, Devlin?
Yeah, on FanDuel, I got the one. My book just might be a little bit different. I don't know if the odds have changed on the phone or whatever.
So
but
I have the Eagles at 14.
Right.
His FanDuel website has them at 13.5.
Wow, that must have just changed because we've been keeping it at 14 this entire time. So, they did change. It just went down.
But his is plus 199.
Hold on. I put the bet in. This isn't fair.
I want it back. I want it back right now.
That's hilarious. Anyways.
Yeah, I won 199 because he was at plus 14. I guess that must have changed the odds at all some way.
Unironically, I put this in 5 minutes ago, so that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's pretty wild that it changed like that.
But let's get to the fun one. I put 25. That'll turn into a 50 bomb if we do win it. I love, you know me, I love first-time touchdown score. Not anytime, first-time touchdown scorer. And I told myself, I was like, if A.J. Brown is above plus 500, I'm going to take him. Guess what he is?
Plus
700. 700. Absolutely stealing money, and because Miles Sanders is way like what you have it up right now.
Yes, Miles Sanders is plus 600.
They have the same amount of touchdowns, so and AJ can score from any part of the field, whereas Miles Sanders, you typically want to get into the red zone before he scores, and then there's a threat of Jalen Hurts taking it away from him. I'm going AJ Brown on this one. Is anyone disagreeing with me? When I saw him at 700, I was like, this is the one. Now there is Devontae Smith at plus 1,000 too.
Devlin,
your point that you made where Jalen Hurts can take it away from Miles Sanders, because if I were to pick anybody, I like Miles Sanders a lot, but you're right. Jalen Hurts is 100% the guy to snag it from him, so I think AJ Brown's a good pick here.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is the favorite too, plus 550.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy. He has to cross. You have to cross the plane. You can't throw a touchdown and get this.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, you have to cross the plane to get this bet. So
you know what I like doing, because you're going to make money regardless. You're going to make your money back. I'm almost willing to throw on AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith, I got plus 950.
If Devontae Smith had 3 or 4 touchdowns, I'd understand, but Goddard has 1 touchdown, Devontae Smith has 2, and A.J. Brown has 5. So I'm just going to go with A.J. Brown because that's obviously the go-to guy.
I think you're right. I think I'm in on that. I like that
At
one more.
700,
I like that one
seems like a
more
steal.
than your. I like that more than your parlay.
And that's why we do this.
I like that much more than your parlay. Passing props for Jalen Hurts, 233.5. I'm taking the over easily on that one. Over. Easily on that one. I think he could get that in the first half. Our worry, everyone's worry should be
his yards a game is 257. That's his average. So
yeah.
So the numbers are on your side. I don't know why. I just feel like the Texans are just going to make it ugly, but maybe that's just paranoia.
I just think this is going to be a game where the Eagles try to play it more safe with him and just let him throw. They can win over the air. They don't need Jalen running. I really think I want over on his passing props. I want under on his 41.5.
Mm-hmm. God. And there's always that chance too, going back to mine, that Texans just score first also. Touchdown. But
Dameon Pierce is the favorite, 900.
900. If it's going to be anybody, it'll probably be him.
Yeah.
So I did go with A.J. Brown, though. I think that's the big – he can hit from any part of the field. I put 1 unit on the parlay. I put 4 on A.J. Brown first-time touchdown. Let's just say if A.J. Brown first-time touchdown scorer hits –
you're going to see a lot of tweets.
It's demon mode. Demon time. We're back.
You're going to see a lot of tweets from @Bruno Reagan. A lot of I told you so's. Yeah. This video clip right now, right here. You're going to see this.
Well, he's just so imagine this. So A.J. Brown is plus 700 first-time touchdown score, and Devontae Smith is plus 1,000, but Devontae Smith has 2 to A.J. Brown's 5. You see the discrepancy in risk versus reward. If I feel like he would have to be plus 1,500 to even be considered. A.J. Brown is at such good value right now.
Yeah. Well, and it's also you could put the idea too that look, A.J. Brown scored a lot of touchdowns against the Texans already.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, playing with Titans, he did. So this isn't like uncharted territory for A.J. Brown to go down to Houston to play.
Now, I had a dream right now, daydreaming. A.J. Brown gets hawked at the 1. So I'm horrified, but we'll see if that comes to fruition.
If that happens, you're done.
Yeah.
It's not going to – it's one. I mean, instantly take all the money right away as soon as you can. Try to beat the book and get to Jalen Hurts.
I'm going to sell my refrigerator. It's the last thing I have left.
Devlin, do you have anything that you want to add into this that you're looking on today?
A.J. Brown receiving yards is at 71.5. If I were to like any prop, it'd probably be that one.
Over?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one too. That one's good. I didn't look at that one. Any of the rushing props? I mean, I talked about Jalen Hurts. Miles Sanders at 75.5. I like the under. Dameon Pierce is at 66.5. I like the under in that too because, look, if we're playing with Vegas saying that this is just going to be a domination by the Eagles, we're going to get a boring Thursday night football game. That's the real sad point of all this. We're going to get a boring game tonight. So with boring games, you're going to have one stat that's going to be obliterated, which I think is going to be Jalen Hurts passing and receiving for A.J. Brown. But I think the rushing stats, you can pretty much go all unders tonight.
Miles Sanders had 78 last week, and I think this is a game where they're playing ahead for the most part and keeps the game on the ground. If I were to bet anything on Miles Sanders, I'd probably take the over.
Yeah.
But never know.
You never know. You never know. We are done for the night. Everybody, thank you for calling in, commenting, and watching in however you have. We appreciate it so much. Remember, if nobody's told you, I love you and you matter. Devlin's gone for the week. He's done. He's done for the rest of the week. No show for you tomorrow, Friday.
He's fired.
He's fired. For the world, forever, for now. But we will be back tomorrow, 4 o'clock Friday, getting you to the weekend. Have a great night, everyone.
Nashville's first curling venue is here at T-Line Nashville. Come check out T-Line Nashville and experience